I remember it was like a Friday. I think for some reason my dad had texted me something like, it must suck being a girl in a country song or something like that. And I said it to you and Aaron. Tae literally wrote a list. I wish we still had, I don't know what notebook you wrote it in, but.
I know. We thought it would be funny to just write a list, say like, oh, what is one thing that every song mentions? And we wrote every single one of those things down.
This is something, but let's come back to it. And so we gave it the weekend and we came back on a Monday, which was St. Patrick's Day.
I remember the night before I'd painted my nails like green, a disgusting green, and I was like, this is me being festive. I remember a lot about the day because it was special. It was me, Maddie, Aaron Schurz. We sat down in a write in his little studio basement that we would always write in.
And so we literally just went down the list of like whistling, like Hey Girl, like the whole thing. We had this whole list and we just started writing. It really didn't take long.
We had a lot of fun writing it. It was just bringing light to a situation that we thought was funny. We weren't mad at them. We weren't coming for them. We didn't have any animosity or anything. And that was our intention, just for a laugh and to bring light to a situation.
I had no idea that we had written a hit song that day. I just thought I was kind of scared to turn it in because I knew it was just like a freaking, like a uppercut. I was like, ooh. I don't know. I don't think anyone's gonna play this song.
The very first time I heard it, I thought this is nuclear in the not so good sense, where I thought, wow, we would really get whacked if we came out with this, because it was at the height of the bro country movement. And that was on Monday.
We knew it was something special because the week after that, we actually played it for our publisher at the time and love him to death. But he said that the song wouldn't ever get to see the light of day because it was, it said some things about some artists that were signed to certain labels, and that just couldn't be our front foot step into the genre. We couldn't have people not liking us from our first song, and it was just a bit too risky.
And then by Friday, I had started to come around to it, and I'd listened to it a million times at this point, and it started to feel really special to me. And that Saturday morning, I remember walking out in my neighborhood, and I was walking my dog, and I put my earphones on again. And it's just one of those few times in my life, and you're gonna think I'm completely joking or making this up, where I felt like that whisper in the wind and that breeze at your back, and it was God telling you, you need to do this. Like you need to do something here.
Tin Pan South, it's almost like CMA Fest, but for songwriters. Mm-hmm. And we always wanted to be a part of it. One of the writers for the Big Machine round backed out. We end up doing this Tin Pan South round, and we realized that the president of the label was gonna be in there. And so we're like, we gotta pull the rabbit out of this hat.
And I remember being very nervous for this performance because we still wanted Girl in a Country Song to be a single. We still wanted to get signed, and we kind of weren't letting go of that song. Like, even though some people had told us it wasn't gonna work, we were still gonna play it in our set for Scott Borchetta. Two brand new writers, just shaking in our boots, played a song that talked about Scott Borchetta's artists in front of Scott Borchetta. Did not know how it was gonna be received. He was either gonna hate it or he was gonna love it. Didn't know. We just started playing it. First verse, his face gets beet red and he's smiling from ear to ear, like laughing. And I think his face got so red because he couldn't breathe because he was just laughing so much.
Seeing Scott Borchetta like cracking up and like loving it.
And by the end of the first chorus, Scott knew it was a smash and ran up to me and was like, yeah, we're going. This is great. And then he's like, where's Chris Stacy?
That had happened like the week before I started. And Mike's like, hey, I know you're starting this label and you're going to need stuff. Like, here's a pile of stuff to listen to. And of course, the girls were on top.
Scott calls me on my drive home, and he's like, yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to go. I need to talk to Chris, but we're going to go. This thing is, and I do believe he said nuclear in the good use of the word. He was like, this is nuclear. We're going to do this.
I felt a change, like I felt a shift in our career after that performance where I was like, oh, did we do something cool? I don't know, but it seems like we did. I was so clueless. So funny. I wish I could like go back and talk to that girl and be like, do you realize how nuts that whole situation was? No? Okay, cool.
So, we all rallied around and the process started.
And a month later, we signed our record deal. My family and I, we go on vacation every year to Florida, and it was the week that we had gone on vacation. It was crazy. I left for 3 days to go to Florida with my family, came back for 2 days, got in the studio, recorded Girl in a Country Song, the track that would be released to the world, signed the record contract while sitting at the studio booth. The next day, flew back to Florida to finish up my vacation with my family. It was a crazy season of life. I can't believe I remember as much as I do, because it all happened so fast, but it was beautiful. I think it just goes to show when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And everyone in town, there's a saying that you just need one song, you just need one song. And Girl in a Country Song was that song for us that really got our foot in the door.
What are we doing right now? I don't even know. Oh, yeah!
They were embarking on a new imprint called Dot Records. And so Chris Stacy was the head of Dot, and he loved the song and loved us and loved all of our music. And so we felt like that was the best home for us.
That was March, and they negotiated and signed a record deal. They went into the studio and recorded Girl in a Country Song, and I believe a couple of other sides, and prepped for a radio tour, and we're out on July 7th.
We shipped it to radio, and we went on radio tour, and then the rest of my life just changed forever.